Open a standard math textbook, and the names staring back at you are almost entirely male. The story of geometry and mathematics usually starts in ancient Greece, with foundational figures like Pythagoras. We move into the 17th century to learn about the coordinate system from René Descartes, and we map out early proportional geometry through the theorems of Thales. But this raises an obvious question. Where are the women who helped build the foundations of computer science, mathematics, and other technical fields? This absence in the curriculum stems from a systemic blind spot. For centuries, educational materials and historical records have framed the hard sciences as an exclusively male domain, leaving countless female pioneers out of the narrative. Recognizing these contributors requires a deliberate effort from educators and students to dig into the past and rewrite that standard educational record. That effort began to take shape in 2021 with the launch of the ABC of Mathematicians, a massive international eTwinning education project. Among the thousands of participants across Europe was a specific class of third graders in Serbia, eager to join this cross-border initiative. At 8 and 9 years old, these students lacked the digital literacy and computer skills required to participate in complex online collaborations, so they started with what they knew. The classroom turned into an analog workshop where students researched early mathematicians and presented their findings on traditional paper posters and hand-drawn displays for physical school exhibitions. This manual phase established a foundation of research and inquiry. It proved that intellectual curiosity must precede the mastery of technological tools. By 2023, those third graders had reached the 5th grade. The physical posters had served their purpose, and it was time to move their research into the digital realm. The students began their initiation into Web 2.0. They learned to navigate design and presentation platforms like Canva, Sway, and Book Creator to digitize their findings. This new digital fluency opened up their classroom to the world. They started virtually collaborating, sharing their digital presentations with peers across 13 different European countries. With this new global reach, the class made a deliberate choice. They dedicated their research entirely to the women of STEM, actively working to address the historical stereotypes they had discussed years earlier. The internet provided the platform and the tools, but the focus on these marginalized female scientists gave the students a clear sense of purpose. This digital A to Z index shows their first major output. Working directly with their international partner schools, the students built this collaborative dictionary, methodically logging the names and achievements of female mathematicians into a shared database. Beyond text entries, the classes designed and programmed interactive, virtual educational games to test their knowledge and exchange facts with their foreign peers in real time. All of this cross-border teamwork culminated in a complex joint product, a digitally designed, printable calendar constructed in the geometric shape of a dodecahedron. Creating these assets required hundreds of hours online, making safety a priority. The students had to learn the rules of responsible digital navigation, copyright, and secure communication. By producing these specific, tangible outputs, the students transitioned from being passive consumers of internet content into active digital creators. Despite their impressive digital portfolio, the students noticed a limitation. Their presentations and games were reaching only their immediate classmates and specific eTwinning partners. To reach a wider audience, they partnered with older 7th graders and IT teachers to launch a public YouTube channel and podcast called The Math Moment Corner. This medium required a new skill set. The students transitioned from screen-based graphic design to the demands of public speaking, script writing, and audio-visual media production. This move from the classroom to the open web meant their research was no longer just a school assignment. They were now hosting a public platform dedicated to telling these scientists' stories. Today, those original 3rd graders have grown up. They are now 7th graders themselves. They run the podcast and YouTube channel entirely on their own. They have outgrown the initial eTwinning framework that started it all. Their workflow is fully self-directed. The students pitch the ideas, operate the recording equipment, and edit their own episodes about female scientists. This level of operational independence is the primary marker of educational success. The media project survives and thrives without requiring constant guidance from their teachers. This 5-year journey shows how scientific research and personal development happen simultaneously. Alongside the math and the coding, the students acquired an invisible curriculum. They built robust self-confidence, learned to collaborate with empathy, and developed high-level digital media literacy. The 8-year-olds coloring paper posters in a classroom have become teenagers speaking clearly into broadcast microphones. By spending years researching the forgotten women of technical science, these students found the tools and the courage to permanently record their own voices in the digital space. When a generation is equipped with specific tools and a clear purpose, they are prepared to contribute to the scientific conversations of the future.